This is the world that we are living in now. How can we change it? Is this the world that we want to leave behind? Can hydrogen be the solution?
This is a Hyundai Nexo. It's a hydrogen car. As it drives to the city, it only emits water and it cleans the air. If this technology is on the road right now, why don't we have it everywhere?
My name is Don Dahlmann and this is Nicole Scott. We are both journalists and experts in the fields of technology and mobility. You may have heard about hydrogen, but what you don't know is that this technology is already here.
And we have a lot of questions, like, is a hydrogen society possible? How exactly does it work? How could hydrogen fit in? Is it really green? And what are the problems with hydrogen rolling out?
And that's why we embark on a journey. We want to learn about the hydrogen revolution and what is really behind it. We are speaking to politicians, to entrepreneurs, to scientists, to get really a deep look into hydrogen.
One car is a great start, but it's not a solution to an overall problem. When we look at fossil fuels, there are so many different kinds. So why shouldn't there be the same thing with green tech? Hydrogen is one piece of a larger puzzle. We're going to have to look at how our green revolution is actually going to happen with green energies. And hydrogen is a very interesting solution because it attacks so many different verticals and it's fantastic at energy storage.
It's clear that we have to change the way we use and produce energy. But is hydrogen really the solution? And where are we at the moment?
What I find very, very important is to emphasize that it is not only for climate change that we need to have zero-emission cars. It's also for air quality. It's also for health. We have today 7 million people dying every year of air pollution because of the particles that are emitted by internal combustion engines.
Climate change is one of our biggest threats. The young generation, they know that just as much as we do. They're listening to the scientists, and I think it's great. I think it's great that they're digging in and they're behind this cause because it's such an important one.
Climate change is an absolute reality. It's actually really sad when you live it. When you go to Chiang Mai, for example, I was living there for close to 2.5 years. I went there for the first time in 2015, and when you landed, you saw beautiful jungle. I went there this year again in January 2020, and when you landed, you don't see the jungle anymore. You're landing in a cloud of smoke. So there are various reasons for this cloud of smoke, but I think when you experience climate change, whether it's the air quality, the rising oceans, creating this whole climate refugee migration, or whether it is the melting of the Arctic, we have a problem here.
Certainly it's not too late yet. We have ambitious goals that we must achieve, particularly by 2030. We need to reduce our emissions by 50%, but it's possible. And I want to contribute, I want to do my part. So if we all do a little bit, we can do it.
I think hydrogen does hold not only potential to start slowing down all the effects, but also to provide a technology for those developing countries to adopt a clean solution now.
This is the sound of hydrogen. Hydrogen is the simplest atom possible and the most common element in the universe. Hydrogen was given its name by French chemist Antoine Lavoisier in 1783. He was also the guy who named oxygen. When combined with nitrogen, hydrogen is used to make ammonia for fertilizer, which helps plants grow. Hydrogen is in fats and oils, and it turns unsaturated fat into saturated fat. Hydrogen is also in rocket fuel that has brought us to the moon. But now, hydrogen might have a new career, because it has the potential to solve our energy problems, not only here, but in the rest of the world.
We already seen the transition to greener solutions. And some countries even roll out zero-emission vehicles on their roads. But in Germany, we also see the rise of hydrogen.
The main reason for the comeback of hydrogen is the challenge of climate change, of course. And it's not only the mobility sector. This is the great thing about hydrogen. It's an energy carrier which can be used to decarbonize not only the mobility sector, but also the industry sector, also the heating sector.
I believe that hydrogen will play an important role in our future. Hydrogen burns very clean. You only make water and energy. Regardless whether you burn it in a flame or whether you burn it in a fuel cell. This is probably its number one benefit. Number two, hydrogen has an extremely high energy density. So you can store a lot of energy in, let's say, 1 kilogram of hydrogen. To be precise, it's 33 kilowatt hours. We don't know any other substance that can hold so much energy per kilogram.
Hydrogen sounds like the perfect solution. Just a little bit too good to be true, because you have to produce hydrogen. Hydrogen is not just water that produces energy. You have actually industrialized production for hydrogen.
And right now, one of the biggest problems is that hydrogen is produced with dirty energy like coal. And so it's not actually green.
No, you need green energy to produce green hydrogen, not only in Germany here, but also in the rest of the world. We just saw the numbers with the CO2 emission globally, and we saw there's a lot to replace with hydrogen. So is that possible?
And we're going to need hydrogen to attack verticals like steel production or chemical manufacturing, and we're also going to need to heat our homes with it.
Yeah, because we're so used to the fact that the energy is just there and you just heat your home and whatever you do, but we never think about where the energy is actually coming from. Now, with the climate change and everything and the change we use and produce energy, we also have to think about that. So, can we produce green hydrogen?
I mean, and what I need to understand is if this green hydrogen can actually replace the way that we've been storing energy in the past in traditional fossil fuels. Producing hydrogen in a green way is going to be its biggest challenge.
There is no chance that we can produce the green hydrogen out of renewable energy resources within Germany, even with the offshore possibilities we have. So also in the future we will have to import vast amounts of primary energy, and this has to be green, decarbonized, and this has to be molecules because you can transport and store them easily. This is what the national strategy really emphasizes.
Energy, what we use, should be equal to everyone. It should be, whether you're rich or poor, everyone can benefit the energy.
So we just took a look at hydrogen's potential and what exactly it is. But why don't we take a look at how it works? Find out what happens next in our Hydrogen Discovery series. In the next episode, we're going to dive into how hydrogen is made and consumed.